Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS25 cash cow video. In this video I'll show you how you can earn a lot of money with goats. Yes, with goats, simple goats. And yeah, we are here at the farm at Riverbend Springs, but I set up somehow a scenario that let us go faster into the goat keeping. So what I have here is a mower with one of my TARDIS trailers. This is the TARDIS loading wagon that helps you to mow grass from the fields that we have over there. I will say something about that. And here in this multi-fruit silo you can store the grass and all your other crops, and I hope it will be in Motab when you watch this video. And it is already on pending release. Now it's Wednesday evening when I record this, and so the next time there will be new mods, the mod will be released, and then you can have this silo as well. As you can see, I used some mods in this scenario, but only few. 3 of them made by me and one made by the modder Yours. It's the liftable pellets mod, and they are all available for consoles in Motab. And PCs obviously also. So here I just have a shed. This is part of my shed pack because I thought we keep the combine harvester because it's no need to only have goats. You can use the good money that you earn with the goats to buy more fields and grow crops on them. And here I have 3 fields prepared. This, I populated it with grass only that it looks nice and green. This field is not used for this goat scenario. You can grow something what you want there. And here this small field is used for the goat scenario, but only in the winter time. So the idea is to have some supplement food for the goats over the winter that you can harvest from this field. So I saw grass in August. It can be mown today and again in March. And then you can store this food here in the silo. And over the summer you can grow something else, like oat, for example, or sorghum or such. Or carrots. And here, this is the field that will be used for the goat scenario. And I chose this field because it's nearly exactly 1 hectare in size, and therefore after this experiment we can say, okay, when you have goat pasture that is 1 hectare big, you can make so and so much money per month. And here we have bale storage, which is part of my shed pack that we also see there. And the idea is that you can keep the goat milk if you don't want to sell it every day, but maybe you want to keep it till the price is the best, and then you can just store it there and it doesn't disturb you. Okay, so now let's build a goat pasture. And you might wonder why I grew grass, because when you build a barn or a pasture, then you have the question, the function, do you want to put grass on the space? And if you say yes, there will be grass in the area of the pasture, but that doesn't grow back as of now. I hope with the next update they will repair this and then it grows back. But right now you have to grow a grass field and then put your goat or sheep barn on top of it, and don't use the grass function of the game, and then it works. So let's go into the build menu with Shift and P. Here we are at the animals and then the sheep, because the goats live together with the sheep in the same barn type. And I wouldn't take this simple one, because then you need to feed them water nearly every day, or even more when you have a big pasture. It is a real hassle because only very little water fits into the trough. So therefore I would go for one of those barn buildings, and the cheapest one would work, but the problem is you have only space for 4 milk pellets. So if you really have a 1 hectare pasture and a lot of goats, then it will be too full every day. So you have to take care of it every day. If you don't do it, then the milk is produced in vain, so you lose the milk. It is different than with the productions. When the space for the spawn area is full, they still have their storage area internally, but not with animal barns. So when there is no more place, then you lose what they produce. So I found that stressful. If you want to go big with goats. And yeah, other than that, I find this barn very cute. I like it when you don't want to have so many goats. So the next one is better and bigger. It only costs 3,000 bucks more. And by the way, all those 3 buildings, they have automatic water. You don't need to take care of water with all those 3 barns, which makes it comfortable. So about this here, it has storage space for, or spawn area space for 6 pellets of milk. This is better, but still stressful with such a huge pasture. The last one is much more expensive, but there you can have up to, I think it was 10 or so, of the goat milk pellets, and this is more relaxed, so you can take care of them every 2 or 3 days, and then yeah, it's much more relaxed. So therefore we take the big one, and I have to turn it around, and then I think I go to in this corner, because then we don't have to walk so far to the barn. Okay, I click it down. Do you want to customize the fence for sheep barn large? Yes, I want. And now here we are. And it's expensive to build such a big fence. Only for this part you have to pay 10,000 bucks. And then the other one up to here is another 8,600 bucks. So it's really quite expensive, but you will earn a lot of money because the barn is so big and you can keep such a lot of goats there. So here this 10,000 again, and now this is cheaper. And here I don't follow the grass line because then it's too hard to load the pellets. Therefore I rather go like this. Let's see, maybe here. And then sometimes it's very difficult to attach this. I don't know why. I think it's a bug, but let's see. I click and nothing happens. Okay, so then I have to go back, delete last segment with an H, try again. Okay, not working. Now maybe I try that and then that. Now it worked. So as you see, sometimes you have to try back and forth, back and forth. And now they ask us, this is very important. Do you want to plant the meadow for sheep barn large? If you play it before this function is repaired, click on no. This is important. Okay, now they didn't plant new grass, non-functioning grass. They just kept my grass, which is working nicely. Okay, and I press on escape to get rid of the second barn. Now we build the barn, and now we buy the goats. And if I would just have a normal save game, I think I would buy some, or let's just go there already. I would have some sheep because they are so cute, and I would start with some of the baby goats because they are so cute, and buy a lot of the bigger goats. And by the way, you can earn much more money with goats than with sheep in FS25. And yeah, the sheep were nerfed, so to say, and the goats, they are somehow a little bit OP, so overproductive. I don't know exactly what OP means, but they are good. They are a cash cow. So we can have up to 162 goats. And I buy the adult ones, and only those, because this is not about being cute, but about getting money. And to buy all those costs another 134,000 bucks, which is quite a lot. So if you want to start with such a scenario, it would be a good idea to start with $1 million. But that's possible now, and therefore you can do it. Okay, we buy them all. Okay, so now let's visit our goats. Here they are. And they don't look like so many. Usually they show only like 20 or so animals because of the performance. And as we have a really big meadow, they have a lot of place to roam around. Okay, so let's check here about the information that we get. We have 162 animals. The health is 0%. The food is 0%. And the meadow is more than 41,000 liters. So I try to feed them only with the meadow. For the goat and sheep, it works. They are happy with it. For the cows, it doesn't work. They never become healthy and never become productive. But for the sheep and goats, it works wonderful. So, but we can see, we go into the menu to have a closer look. It's not only the health that is on 0%, and the reproduction, because they are new, but also the productivity. And it will take around 1 day, so maybe 10, 12 hours or so, until they have a health of 100%. And therefore, in the first day, they don't produce the normal amount of milk. Therefore, we will sleep now and throw away the first milk, or we rather store it in this bale storage or pellet storage. And then the next day, they should be fully healthy, and then they produce with 100%, and then we take this milk and sell it. So, okay, now we sleep. And then you might think about, yeah, but maybe we could earn even more money when we would use a production to make goat cheese or bottled goat milk and such. And I will tell you about it later. And it's a very harsh truth. And I warn you in advance, it will be a rant by myself. So let's see. They produce nicely, but not the same amount that they will produce the next day. Because it took them those at least 10 hours to become healthy. We put those... Come on. And maybe you wonder why I can carry it. And that is because of the liftable pellets mods by use. And that is saving us a lot of time, because I don't need to carry those around with the front loader. And therefore I thought it's a good idea to use this mod. And that gives superpowers even to console players, this mod. So now let's check again. Here we can see the health is to 100%, and they still have no food because we didn't put food inside. And the meadow is still 32,000 liters. So that will be enough at least for 1 month. And when I tried this before, they could be fed from the rest of the meadow through the whole winter. So it was never needed to give them food in their trough. But in case it could be needed, I have this field with grass, and I have put some of it already in the silo, because you never know whether it works every year. But for me it worked. On this meadow with this barn, I had different barns on different meadows, and it didn't work the whole winter. So now we sleep again, and this time it will count. Okay. Yeah, and before we will sell the milk, I will show you what I mean with the production, because I find it terrifying. Maybe you think, okay, it's not such a big deal, but for me, I think it's a really big deal. So let's see how much we got. We have 4 pellets, and the last one won't be completely full. We check here in the menu. We can see how many milk is standing here. So nearly 4,000 liters. And this is completely different to the productions, because in the productions you can see in the menu only when the pellets haven't spawned yet. You only see what is stored inside the building, invisible. And here with the animals, you see what is standing beside the building, which is quite useful when you want to know you are somewhere at the other side of the map, and then you ask yourself, should I need to go there to empty out this area? And then you can just have a look into the menu. So now I take the trailer, not this. That was in case if we need to feed them. But up to now, as I already said, it always worked with this large meadow, which I find really fantastic. So I open this, and now I put this nearly 4,000 liters on my trailer. And then we check for the price, and then I show you, come on. Here, so. And then I show you what I meant with the production, and have my rent. I try not to make it too terrible. So wonderful. Okay, I let it run a little bit faster. So fixing it, and no, not fixing it, attaching it with this tension belts. Okay, now first we go into the menu, and then we look for the price for the goat milk, and it will be here, goat milk, and we get between 7,614 bucks up to 9,138 bucks. And so during the year it changes the price. And the average is around 8,400 around. And this average price also changes. And so we get a lot, and this is always per 1,000 liters. So in this case today we get 8,510, which is a little bit more than average. And you could wait for January to sell it to get more. I think in a normal safe game I would do it. Only if I need a lot of money right now, urgently, then I would sell it. But that we can see how we get the money, we will sell it today. And so we will get nearly 4 times 8,500 bucks, which is quite a lot of money. And we get this every month in average. And then you might think, okay, let's get a production, then we will get even more. And here we have the goat milk bottled. And you can see we get less money. It's between 5.6 and 6.8. And then there's the goat cheese. And it's even less. And you might wonder, how can this be that those products give you less money? Yes, I can show you, and you can earn more money with the goat cheese and the goat milk. But the trick that makes it possible is so ugly, and for me, it's so terrifying. Because maybe you should know in advance, I like to make my own cheese and I like to make my own butter, butter only sometimes. And my own cheese, I don't do it every day or so, but I like to do it. And therefore I have a personal feeling, knowledge and attachment to this topic. And that is why I find this so horrifying, what I will show you now. And I think most of you maybe won't find it so horrifying than me, but it's still a little bit strange. So we go to the factories and we will buy a dairy. Is this bakery, preserved food? This is the dairy here. And I won't consider the speed of the production, because that is not the topic. Those small productions are too slow, but that is not why I'm so annoyed. It is something different. We go here to the production, this little dairy here, and we search for the goat productions. And here we have the goat milk bottled. And yeah, I think if you don't think a lot about it and just use your normal human mind, you would think, if I get goat milk in a big bucket and put it in small bottles, then I get from 20 liters in a bucket, I get 20 bottles per 1 liter. It stays more or less the same. Maybe you spill a little bit, so you would lose a little bit, but not too much. And here you put in 10 liters of goat milk and you get 20 liters of goat milk bottled. How on earth can they double the amount of goat milk just by putting it into bottles? That is, yeah, if you would be very friendly, very, very friendly, you could say it's magic. But yeah, for me, it's seeing this, I think, oh, they thinned it with water. And this is, they are criminals. They sell us stuff that has no worth because it is thinned goat milk. And yeah, or maybe they just write a wrong number onto it. This is so far from being realistic. And maybe you know I'm really not a realism player. And I even make mods that work like a TARDIS. The storage is bigger in the inside than in the outside. And my wooden silos, they have 10 million liters of all kinds of stuff all mixed together, and it works fine. So I work with magic in the game. But somehow this angers me, because this is a base game function. If it would be a mod, I would just say, okay, it is unrealistic and it is not so much to my liking. And then I wouldn't use this. But as it is a base game production chain, I think I take it very serious. And this is harmless. The thing that is worse comes here. This recipe is 3 times goat milk, make 6 times goat cheese. Have you ever made cheese? When you put 1 liter of milk and make cheese out of it, you can be lucky to get 1/10 of a liter. So in the end, you lose a lot of volume, a lot of volume. And here the volume is doubled. So this is criminal again. Or you could say magic. So if you are friendly to those recipes and say, oh, Granny Tana, she's a little bit crazy. She's all over her cheese experience. And it's okay if you think so. It doesn't bother me if you think, okay, I just do it anyhow. Why not making a little bit magic goat cheese? But for me, I find it so annoying, so annoying. Therefore, I think I will never use those recipes. And when I make a production, I will throw those recipes away. I won't use them. Same with the chocolate. In my productions, there was never chocolate because I think when you have milk and sugar, you never get chocolate. And therefore, no chocolate in my productions. Maybe sooner or later I will make a cacao or a cocoa greenhouse where you can grow it, and then we can talk about chocolate. But I don't know whether I will have time in the 3 years of FS25. Yeah, but I find this goat cheese thing even worse. And then there is also a butter that you make from goat milk. And you put inside 3 goat milk and get 10 butter. This is terrible. Sorry. When I make butter, I get around 1/4 of the volume of the milk as butter, if I'm really, really lucky. So usually it's less than 1/4. So I put in 1 liter and I get something like 200 grams from it as butter. And yeah, if I'm very, very lucky, a little bit more. And here the goat milk is blown up 3 times, more than 3 times to make the butter. And I know they did it to get the balancing right. But so they started with completely wrong numbers. The goat milk shouldn't be so high priced. And then they could have made recipes that are better, that are closer to reality. But this is really no production that feels good to me. Okay, so enough about this production. I will delete this dairy, this terrible dairy, and we just sell the goat milk because it's perfectly fine. We can earn a fortune with the goat milk. So that's what we do. And somehow this selling process and the taking care of those pellets is the only work that you have. Okay, as long as your meadow has enough food for the goats, you don't even need to feed them. You can just wait and get the milk and sell it, get the milk and sell it. You don't need to sell it every day. You can store it until the price is best, and then you have a bigger trip to the dairy. I think it's a disadvantage that there is only one dairy on the map on Riverbend Springs. Maybe on other maps there will be more selling stations for goat milk. And I guess rather soon there will be selling station mods like the little farm kiosk or so, where you can sell goat milk. And I'm planning on doing maybe several of those where you can sell goat milk. And maybe I will make a special goat cheese recipe that has a more reasonable recipe, and then you get a better price for it. But that's nothing for today, sadly. So now here we are at the dairy, and I just loosened the tension belts, and we got 33,000 bucks. And this is around the average daily income from your 1 hectare goat meadow. And yeah, when I take it times 12 because of the year, then it's much more money, I think, that you can get even from poplars. And it's less money that you can get if you fill up this whole area with greenhouses. You would get more money, definitely. But I think if it's more money than poplars, it is very good money. I haven't calculated the silage yet. Silage is not as good as before. The price is worse, but you can still harvest 4 times a year, and therefore you can make a decent money. This is one of the next things I will find out and calculate and make a video about it. But I think to have goats there, and it's much less work than with silage. So if you want to earn really good money and have some variety, then I would say build some greenhouses and make one big goat field, and you're good to go. And then you can do whatever you want. You can even have some horses that only cost you money, because you earn enough money with the goats and the greenhouses, and maybe other things as well. Okay, that's about the cash cow goats. If you want to buy FS25 or a DLC, feel free to use my code OMATANA. You'll find the link for the PC version in the video description. It doesn't cost you anything extra and supports me a lot. Now I wish you a wonderful day, thank you for watching, and all the best till next time. Tschüss!